And normally a player only plays for one season. You wouldn't expect him to be in any club's Hall of Fame.
A Pompey legend!
Similar to Prosinecki, a one-season wonder, but they made the mark.
In 2003, Pompey were crowned champions of Division 1.
He was everything you expected him to be.
And were promoted to the Premier League.
There's not enough superlatives you can talk about Paul Merson, really.
12 goals in 45 league appearances, offering so much more.
Well, I didn't realise how good he was until that season, to be fair. I mean, he was majestic, really.
The captain, back to Fratton Park, Paul Merson!
Magic man, I'd say. Watching him play was a privilege.
Days before the big kick-off and Harry Redknapp finally got his man. After much speculation, Paul Merson came to the South Coast from Aston Villa to help Pompey's promotion push.
I can still recall now, I think the transfer had been talked about for a few days, but when he actually signed, this was real kind of box office on the eve of the 2002-03 season.
It'll make a massive difference. I think the players at the football club, to have someone like him to come in and play with and work with every day, I think they'll be looking forward to that.
I thought bringing Merson into the club was a stroke of genius by Harry Redknapp. He brought him in, made him captain, and to me that was what he needed, because he had the captaincy. I think it raised his game as well.
Harry was very good management there, I mean, and he knew Merson was very important for that season. I mean, everything come through Merson. A lot of goals Toddy scored was set up by Merson. He could pick a pass out, and, I mean, he was very majestic.
I think Todorov, when he came and got his award, he actually said that, but for some of the Paul Merson passes, which were absolutely sublime, he probably wouldn't have scored as many goals.
He was the playmaker. Merson was a playmaker. If you watch some of the footage from that season, he could knock a 40-yard ball to feet across the pitch.
You'd be watching the game and go, how did he do that? And that's what Merson was about.
I think Merson was one of those kind of players that other clubs' fans would go to the ground because Merson was playing for Pompey. He had that kind of cachet about him, and certainly the Millwall game was a memorable one.
Millwall away, there was no Pompey fans there. Luckily enough, I was there, but not many Pompey fans to witness that.
We won 5-0, and Merson went off with 10 minutes to go, and he got a standing ovation from the Millwall fans. So that goes to prove they, respected him for the sort of player he was.
Merson doesn't disappoint. Done and dusted, I think was the signal.
The Millwall fans to give him a standing ovation, that's how well he played, and he did that week in and week out. It's not very rare I can think that he's had that many bad games for us.
I think there was, and I can't quite remember the game now off the top of my head, but there was another game. It might have been a Boxing Day game, but we scored a fantastic goal on the counter-attack, which was all about Paul Merson picking the ball up, seeing somebody making the run, sending that pass, and then I think he was actually kind of making a run to try and get on the end of it as well. And I genuinely can't remember whether he scored or whether he didn't, but nevertheless, it was his vision that was what enabled us to kind of to score that goal.
I remember when we got promoted and all the champagne was going on, Mercer was in the drugs room and that, and I think he knew that he couldn't play in the Premier League, and he just was pleased to get Pompey up into the Premier League, and that's the sort of man he was.
I would have loved to have seen him play one season in the Prem, especially with Teddy Sheringham coming in as well. Those two, I know they would have been called Dad's Army, but they were two great players.
I would have liked to have seen him in the Premier League, but that was his decision and he made it. But he was a massive, big help for us to get in the Premier League.
It might have been a bridge too far. Why not finish on a high? And he did. And I can see the thinking there. He finished on an absolute high here. He could have gone another season, and it could have been dragged out. And who knows? Great with hindsight. But the fact that he did it was a one-season wonder. He'll always go down as a true genius here.
It would have been nice to see him play in the Prem, just as a cameo really, but it wasn't to be.
You know, I mean, I always say geniuses, they all got they're mad, and Merce was no different, you know, but, and I mean mad in a good way, you know, I mean, he was funny, and, you know, he was a character, and he was a good character to be around. Recognition of what he did that year, and he deserves it, and I'm really, really proud to have known the man.